Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 8.0 patch notes for the Dungeons and Dragons chapter on DVD. We've got a lot to go over, so let's just jump right on into it. So, we have a new survivor. Hopefully, I don't butcher the name. Astri Yazar. So, let's go over the perks. Mirrored Illusion. This perk activates after completing a total of 50% worth of repair progress on generators. Press the ability button 2 when next to a totem, chest, generator, or exit gate to spawn a static illusion that lasts for 100 all the way up to 120 seconds depending on the tier of the perk. Bardic Inspiration. Press ability button 1 while standing and motionless to enter the performance interaction that lasts up to 15 seconds and empowers survivors within 16 meters. Roll a d20. This effect lasts for 90 seconds if the performance is complete. When the ability is cancelled or the performance completes, it goes on cooldown for 110 all the way down to 90 seconds, once again, depending on the tier level of the perk. 1. So if you roll a 1, you scream, but nothing happens. If you roll a 2 to 10, skill checks give 1% progress. If you roll a 11 to 19, skill checks give 2% progress. If you roll a nat 20, skill checks give 3% progress. Still sight. After standing still for 5 to 4 seconds, this perk activates. Until you start moving, you see the aura of the killer, as well as all generators and chests within 24 meters. So far, from the PTB, the change notes and everything, I really like what they've done with the survivor perks here. And I definitely look forward to playing with them. All right, let's jump down to the new killer, the Lich, aka Vecna. Killer power. Bound with the skin and flesh of men, the book is packed with spells, both forbidden and wicked. To select a spell, hold the ability button to open the spell selection. The Lich has access to 4 different spells. Mage Hand. Create a magical hand that lifts a downed pallet or blocks an upright pallet for 4 seconds. Flight of the Damned. Conjure 5 flying spectral entities that can pass through obstacles and injure survivors. I've gotten to play with the Lich a bit, and I will say Flight of the Damned is absolutely beautiful. If you can guess correctly, well, not guess, like predict survivors' movement through the walls and that, Flight of the Damned is going to be absolutely beautiful while playing. Dispelling Sphere. Cast a moving invisible sphere that reveals survivors and temporarily disables their magic items. Now, granted, there is another item in the game that allows you to see the spheres when Vecna casts them. I believe you get them out of chests, and more so the actual chests that could be mimics. Excuse me, desktop, how dare you? Flying. Gain a flying speed for a short period of time, allowing you to travel a long distance quickly and move over vaults and pallets. Absolutely beautiful. I've used this more than a handful of times. It's helped me end chases incredibly quick. So that should be loads of fun for people that are just getting up to speed on this new chapter. I think a lot of people are going to have fun with it. Let's move down to special magic items. Boots/gauntlets of the Interloper. The survivor sees the aura of pallets affected by Mage Hand and gains haste for 3 seconds. Boots/gauntlets of the Night Watch. The survivor can see the auras of the spectral entities conjured by Flight of the Damned. Boots/gauntlets of the Archivist. The survivor can see the dispelling sphere. As you can see, what I've mentioned earlier. So there is slight counters to Vecna. Boots/gauntlets of Skyguard. The survivor can see the Lich's aura during fly and for a few seconds after. Scroll down here. Special items. Hand and Eye of Vecna. Rarely survivors can instead find the hand or eye of Vecna in a treasure chest. When picked up and used, survivors gain a special ability while at full health. Using one of these special abilities costs the survivor a health state and reveals their location with Killer Instinct for 3 seconds. Hand of Vecna. When doing a fast locker entry, the survivor is teleported to a further locker. This, I believe, is completely worth it. I've seen so many plays of people using it. I've had people use it against me to quickly get out of chase and survive. Eye of Vecna. When doing a fast locker exit, the survivor cannot be seen by the Lich and gains haste for 15 seconds. Another absolutely beautiful special item. I've seen people use that against me, and I've also seen it used in clips. Incredibly useful items, both of them. And I think a lot of people are going to have super fun with them. All right, let's move down to the new killer perks. Weave Attunement. When any item becomes depleted for the first time each match, it is dropped. You see the auras of dropped items. Survivors within 12 meters of dropped items have their auras revealed to you. When a survivor picks up a survivor item, they suffer the Oblivious status effect for 20 to 30 seconds. Once again, depending on the tier of the perk. Pardon me. Languid Touch. When a survivor within 36 meters of you scares a crow, they gain the exhaustion status effect for 6 to 10 seconds. This perk has a cooldown of 20 seconds. Exhausted prevents survivors from activating exhausting perks. Dark Arrogance. Increase the duration you are blinded and the duration of pallet stunts by 25%. Increase regular vault speed by 15 to 25%. I don't really see Dark Arrogance being too good of a perk. I don't see many people probably going to be running it. I can see people more so using Weave Attunement and Languid Touch. It's kind of a shame that we got this, but you know what? It's to be expected. There's always going to be probably 1 to 2 perks each DLC that most people just don't want to use. New map, Forgotten Ruins. It's an absolutely beautiful map. I got to play it in the PTB, and I cannot wait to try it on my new PC here. I think it's going to be absolutely beautiful. All right. Killer perk update. Let me get everything into picture here. Let's have a look at Deadlock. Decrease the block duration to 15 to 25 seconds. Was originally 20 to 30 seconds. Grim Embrace. Decrease the block duration before reaching 4 tokens to 6 to 10 seconds. Was originally 8 to 12 seconds. Pop Goes the Weasel. Decrease the amount of progression lost to 20%. Was 30%. Scourge Hook Pain Res. Decrease the amount of progress lost to 10 to 20%. Was 15 to 25%. All right, now we get down to the survivor perks. Background player. Decrease the movement speed bonus to 150%. Was 200. So a bit of a nerf there. I do believe I'm still going to see, and you're still going to be able to do your wacky, crazy plays with it. Just, you got to be a little bit more prepared now. So, buckle up. Both you and the healed survivor gain endurance for 6 to 10 seconds removed. So this has been nerfed for the people, and Buckle Up meta is officially broken. But instead, the healed survivor breaks into a sprint at 150% of their normal running movement speed for 3 to 5 seconds and leaves no scratch marks during this time. Invocation, Weaving Spiders. Decrease the time it takes to complete the invocation to 60 seconds, was 120 seconds. Increase the time it takes for an invocation to completely regress to 90 seconds, was 6 seconds. So I definitely can see a lot of more people using invocation. Now, let's move on to decisive. Decrease the stun duration to 4 seconds, was 5. I personally don't believe, as a killer main, that it should have been nerfed. If you're running DS, right? Say, for example, hypothetically, you're playing killer and you have to tunnel someone out because you need to slow down the game, and they've already popped off like 4 gens and it's 1 gen left, and the rest of them aren't even on a gen. If you do get DS'd from the player you're tunneling out, I think it's rightfully deserved. So I wish behavior would leave it alone. All right, let's jump down to killer updates. The Blight rush tokens are capped at 5, was 3. For Compound 33 add-on, increased rush turn rate by 11%, was 33%. Increased rush duration by 11%, was 33%. So a little bit of a nerf here, but you get a little bit of a buff with the rush tokens, which I think all in all is fair. Iridescent Blight tag, increased rush speed by 10%, was 20%. So overall, nerf to Blight, not too much of a worry here. The Cannibal base kit decreased the obstruction collision size while using the chainsaw to 10 centimeters, was 17.5 centimeters, so a bit of a buff. Decreased the turn. Wow, I cannot English. The base tantrum duration to 3 seconds, was 5. Increased the base chainsaw sweep duration to 2.5 seconds, was 2. Increased the base chainsaw sweep movement speed to 5.35, was 5.29. So the Cannibal did get a bit of a buff. I am looking forward to playing the Cannibal quite a bit. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I think it was muchly needed for Bubba. Let's see what they did to the add-ons here. Award-winning Chili increases maximum chainsaw sweep duration by 0.2 seconds per charge spent, was 0.5. So, bit of a nerf. Chainsaw File decreases tantrum duration to 0.25 seconds, was 0.5. Chili increased maximum chainsaw sweep duration by 0.15 seconds per charge spent, was 0.25. Homemade Muffler decreases tantrum duration by 0.5 seconds, was 1. Knife Scratches increased chainsaw sweep movement speed by 1.5, was 2%. Increased time required to charge the chainsaw by 10%, was 12. Beast's Marks increased chainsaw sweep movement speed by 2%, was 3%. Increased time required to charge the chainsaw by 12%, was 14%. So now we've got Deathslinger. Decrease the stun duration when a survivor breaks free to 2.7 seconds, was 3. Increase the real speed to 2.76, was 2.6. Increased movement speed while reloading to 3.08, was 2.64. So a bit of a buff for Deathslinger. That's very nice. Good drink. All right, let's have a look at the add-ons. Decrease the stun duration when survivors break free by 0.75 seconds was 1 second. Bayshore's Gold Tooth increased the spear gun's reeling speed by 5% was 9. So a bit of a nerf there. Chewing Tobacco decreased the stun duration when survivors break free by 0.25 was 0.5. Snake Oil increased the spear gun's reeling speed by 2.5% was 5%. So what I'm noticing is with the little bit of buff to the killers also comes with a nerf to the add-ons, which is completely justifiable. The Mastermind base kit decreased the hindered penalty when reaching maximum infection to 4% was 8. The Ouroboros infection now resets to 1% upon being hooked was 50%. That is fair. I do think Mastermind's still going to be incredibly strong here, but I do believe the nerf was needed. So the good guy, good old Chucky, Scamper is now only available while performing Slice and Dice. Heidi Ho mode cooldown reduced to 12 seconds was 18 seconds. Scamper time reduced to 1.3 seconds was 1.4. Added a 1 second cooldown after canceling a Slice and Dice charge up. You know, I can agree with the changes they've made to Chucky. I do like it, and I look forward to playing them. So let's have a look at the add-ons here. Strobing Light decreases terror radius by 8 meters when Heidi Ho mode is in cooldown was 4 meters. Pile of Nails. Upon manually exiting Heidi Ho mode, Chucky remains undetectable for 3 seconds was 5. Yardstick. Performing a Scamper reveals survivors' auras within 16 meters distance for 3 seconds was 12 meters for 5 seconds. I definitely agree with this. I think we could have still kept it to 12 and just bumped it down to 3 because you didn't really need the 5 seconds if you were very aware. Hard Hat removed and exit Heidi Ho mode from description. Okay, toolbox updates. Increases sabotage speed by 15% was 10%. Mechanics toolbox increased sabotage speed by 25% was 10%. Commodious toolbox increased sabotage speed by 50%. New functionality. Engineer's toolbox increases sabotage speed by 10% was decreased it by 25%. Really? I did not know that. Alex's toolbox 18 charges was 24. Increases sabotage speed by 100% was 50%. Festive toolbox increased sabotage speed by 50%. New functionality. Anniversary toolbox. Okay, so these three here, Masquerade, Anniversary, and Festival, they're all the same and just increase sabotage speed by 50%. Let's move down to toolbox add-ons. Cutting wire increases the toolbox sabotage speed by 20% was 15. Grip wrench. Hooks sabotaged using the toolbox take an extra 20 seconds to respawn was 15. Hacksaw increases the toolbox's sabotage speed by 30% was 20. Okay. So, events and archives. The Twisted Masquerade event begins June 13th at 11 Eastern. The Twisted Masquerade event tome also opens June 13th at 11 a.m. Eastern. So, new map update, the Decimated Borg. As I've said in my previous videos, they've removed the fog and red light. So it's a much clearer map. It looks absolutely beautiful now. And I think a lot of people should be enjoying that. Features. UX started adding search tags for charms. New item preview window. Okay. Let's go down to the bug fixes here. Archives fixed an issue that affected archive challenges, which require the killer to complete a trial with no more than X survivors living to update their progress incorrectly during a match. It now correctly updates throughout the match as each survivor dies. Fixed an issue that prevented the archive challenge progress notification to display in the match results screen if the challenge was already completed before entering another trial. So, bots, the name of the bots that appear following a player disconnected, have been corrected. Okay, beautiful. Characters fixed an issue that caused some survivors to stop playing their idle animation when equipped with an item in the lobby. Fixed an issue that caused survivors to be misaligned with the ghost face during a vault interruption. Fixed an issue that caused the male survivors to be misaligned when Naughty Bear picks them up. Just give me a second, going to grab a drink. A lot of talking with this one. Okay. Fixed an issue that caused the chains from the Cenobite portals not to be dismissed when the Cenobite teleports to a survivor solving the box. Fixed an issue that caused a crosshair to be briefly visible in the middle of the screen when unbinding Victor as the twins. Fixed an issue that caused Victor to briefly appear on Charlotte's head in the tally screen when playing as the twin. You know, I kind of wish I got to see that. That kind of seems pretty funny. Fixed an issue that caused the Plague's vile and corrupt purge animation to continue playing after the interaction has ended. Fixed an issue that caused the cannibal to be missing the tantrum animation from the killer's POV when not extending the chainsaw sweep. Fixed an issue that caused the cannibal to be missing the tantrum animation after bumping into an asset. Fixed a crash that could sometimes happen when playing against killers with a lullaby. Okay. Environment maps fixed an issue that caused items to slightly float on the ferry boat in the Pale Rose map. Fixed an issue that prevented the killer from interrupting survivors performing the invocation interaction from specific spots. Fixed an issue in Raccoon City police station where the nurse can blink out of bounds. Okay, so platforms. Fixed an issue with input bindings for players on the Windows Store. Haptic feedback has been fixed on PlayStation. UI. Changing presets in the loadout menu will no longer rotate the character due to different charm layouts. Fixed an issue where the survivor offerings order is inconsistent in the match details. Fixed a crash issue that could occur in the search bar. Fixed a crash issue that could occur while reporting another player. Fixed an issue where the perk's description is not displayed properly in the tally scoreboard on the Switch. Fixed an issue where the owned tag is shown on customization items in the Rift. Fixed an issue where a tooltip was not displayed on the disabled button in the lobby. MISC. Blood weps with kill switch items should no longer be possible. Fixed a crash that could occur while in a trial when gaining blood points. Fixed a crash that could occur while loading between the play as survivor lobby and the pre-trial lobby. Fixed an issue that VFX to misalign with the spirit's body during the Mori preview with the blazing lineage outfit. So now we get down to the public test build adjustments, the Lich. Survivors activating the effect of Vecna's items suffer from the broken status for 30 seconds. Decrease the spell charge time of all spells from 0.33 seconds to 0.2. Increased all spell charge movement speed from 3.68 to 4. Increased duration of the fly spell from 3.5 to 4. Killer gains back collision with survivors at the start of the end of flying sequence. Slightly increased ground friction and control at the end of flying to diminish the sliding effect. Reduce the FOTD projectiles spawns from 1 second to 0.5 seconds. Increase the FOTD projectile movement speed from 8 movement speed to 9. Increase the FOTD activation cooldown movement speed from 2.3 to 3.68. Increased dispelling sphere activation time from 20 seconds to 25 seconds. Increased dispelling sphere movement speed from 4.2 to 5.5. Increased dispelling sphere activation cooldown movement speed from 2.3 to 3.68. Increased mage hand activation cooldown movement speed from 2.3 to 3.68. Decreased mage hand time to lift a pallet from 0.5 seconds to 0.35 seconds. Decreased all spell cooldown from 50 seconds to 38 seconds. Decreased all magic items default reveal killer aura from 3 to 1.5 seconds. Add-ons. Raven's Feather decreased duration of fly spell from 1 second to 0.5 seconds. Trickster's Glove decreased mage hand hold pallet time from 1 second to 0.5 seconds. Crystal Ball increased the duration of the Killer Instinct from 1.5 seconds to 3 seconds. Potion of Speed decreases the period where you cannot attack after casting Fly from 0.5 seconds to 0.35 seconds. Ring of Telekinesis decreased the lift speed from 50% to 35%. Ring of Spell Storing decreased the cooldown reduction of all spells from 5 seconds to 4 seconds. Robe of Eyes decreased distance detection from 8 meters to 6. Dragon Tooth Dagger increased hemorrhaging and mangled status effect from 30 seconds to 45 seconds. Cloak of Invisibility decreased the undetectable time from 12 seconds to 10. Vorpal Sword decreased the broken status effect from 60 seconds to 30. Score events. Violent Caster increased from 100 to 300 blood points. Spectral Smash increased from 500 to 600 blood points. New killer perks. Weave Attunement or Reveal Distance increased from 8 meters to 12 meters of dropped items. Dark Arrogance, Vault Speed increased, update from 16 to 20 to now 15 to 25%. New perk for the survivors, Bardic Inspiration buff now lasts 90 seconds instead of 60 and goes on cooldown for 110 to 90 instead of 80 to 60. Duration of the buff is now shown on the external perk icon. Still sight, or reveal distance increased from 18 meters to 24. Okay, so still, yeah. Compound 33, yep, already know. Capped at 5 was 3. So this is basically just a little bit of an update from everything that I've already gone over. Okay. If you like the video, if you are looking forward to playing this chapter or going up against people that have this chapter, give it a like, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.